Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the inaugural meeting of the Board of Trustees of the New York City Public Housing Preservation Trust. I am Lisa Bova Hyatt, Chair of the Trust's Board of Trustees. As the first order of business, it is my honor to take the role of the trustees present. Please answer present or here when your name is called. Karen Blondell.
Present.
Baba Halm.
Present.
Barbara McFadden.
Present.
Georgianne Okorokoy.
Koroji. Present.
Orji, thank you. Maria Torres Springer. Present. Pamela Campbell.
Present.
Ms. Campbell, I know you wanted to be here in person, but had a previously scheduled conflict. So I'm glad you're joining us nonetheless. I will note for the record.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. That as the board has not yet adopted a policy governing remote appearance by board members, an item which is on today's agenda. In fact, Ms. Campbell is joining us in an unofficial capacity, and as such, will not be counted for purposes of determining quorum, and will also not participate in any votes by the board today. With 6 trustees present, including myself, we have a quorum. I would also like to note for the record that in my capacity as chair of the trust board, I have designated Jason Goldberg to serve as interim secretary for the purpose of assisting me in holding and carrying out today's meeting. I will submit a copy of my written designation reflecting this to be included in the minutes. As noted on the agenda, board members will have an opportunity to offer remarks, but we will defer those remarks to follow after the board's official business is concluded. Mr. Goldberg, you may proceed with today's agenda.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Today, we have a number of resolutions submitted by you for consideration by the board. The first item on the agenda is a resolution submitted by you concerning the adoption of bylaws for the trust. Do you wish to comment or make a motion?
Unless there are any questions, I move that the board adopt this resolution.
Is there a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays or abstentions? None being heard, the resolution is passed. The second item on the agenda is a resolution submitted by the chair concerning the adoption of a conflicts of interest policy for the trust. Madam Chair, do you wish to comment or make a motion?
Unless there are any questions, I move that the board adopt this resolution.
I second.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Are there any nays or abstentions? None being heard, the resolution is passed. The third item on the agenda is a resolution submitted by the chair concerning the adoption of a code of ethics for the trust. Madam Chair, do you wish to comment or make a motion?
Unless there are any questions, I move that the board adopt this resolution.
Is there a second? Second. Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Are there any nays or abstentions? None being heard, the resolution is passed. The fourth item on the agenda is a resolution submitted by the chair concerning the adoption of a whistleblower protection policy for the trust. Madam Chair, do you wish to comment or make a motion?
Unless there are any questions, I move that the board adopt this resolution.
Is there a second?
Aye. Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Are there any nays or abstentions? None being heard, the motion is passed. The fifth item on the agenda is a resolution submitted by the chair concerning the adoption of an organizing resolution for the trust, which addresses the operation and the management of the trust. Madam Chair, do you wish to comment or make a motion?
Yes. Among other things, this resolution seeks to permit me, as chair, to hire an individual to serve as general counsel and secretary of the trust, subject to this individual's acceptance of an offer and in accordance with their terms of employment. with the terms of appointment. I expect the candidate will accept and begin their employment in the coming weeks, and I look forward to introducing them to the members of the board very soon. Having said that, and unless there are any questions regarding this resolution, which also addresses the opening of a trust bank account, signatory authority of various trust officers, obtaining of insurance, and the potential negotiation and entering into a shared services agreement with NYCHA for the leasing of space and the use by the trust of such services and employees as may be offered by NYCHA and negotiated by the parties, I would like to move that the board adopt this resolution.
Is there a second? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any nays or abstentions? None being heard, the resolution is passed. Madam Chair, the next item on the agenda concerns a video conferencing policy. Do you wish to comment or make a motion at this time?
Yes, I do. This video conferencing policy was developed pursuant to the New York Open Meetings Law, which authorizes boards to adopt a video conferencing policy after holding a public hearing where the public can comment. Accordingly, I move that this special meeting of the Board of Trustees of the New York City Public Housing Preservation Trust stand in recess until the call of the chair and a public hearing immediately commence concerning the adoption of a video conferencing policy.
Is there a second? Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed or abstain? None being heard, the resolution is passed. And the July 7, 2023 special meeting of the trust stands in recess at 12:11 p.m. to resume at the call of the chair, and the public hearing is now underway. Madam Chair, no members of the public signed up to offer comment. Is there anyone in the room of the public who wishes to make a comment?
So this is just concerning our video conferencing policy?
Actually, I was going to talk about the trust and for our NYCHA audience, if it's possible.
So right now, the comments are only with respect to the video conferencing policy. We can absolutely talk about your other questions after this concludes.
Okay, very, very nice. Thank you.
Madam Chair, given that there are no members of the public signed up to offer comments on the video conferencing policy, which is a requirement under the open meetings law of the state of New York, and no one in the room has stepped forward to give comment on the policy, you may proceed.
Thank you, Jason. I declare the recess of the special meeting over and the special meeting of the trust to be back in order. Please continue with today's agenda, Mr. Goldberg.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The next and final item on the agenda is a resolution submitted by you concerning the adoption of a video conferencing policy in furtherance of Section 103A of the Open Meetings Law. Madam Chair, do you wish to comment or make a motion?
Unless there are any questions, I would like to move that the board adopt this policy, this resolution.
Is there a second? Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Are there any nays or abstentions? None being heard, the resolution is passed.
Thank you. With the official business being concluded, I would like to take a moment to reflect on the historic meeting we are conducting today and to offer my fellow board members the opportunity to do the same. First, a slightly belated thank you to everyone for being here today, especially on the Friday after the 4th of July. I could not be more thrilled to be chairing the first meeting of the board of the New York City Public Housing Preservation Trust. We all know that NYCHA has tremendous capital needs, and the trust is essential for us meeting them. Just over a year ago, Governor Hochul signed this legislation which created the trust and provided the trust with the tools necessary to raise necessary funding to oversee the significant repairs and improvements NYCHA residents need and deserve. Today's meeting is a big step towards achieving the promise of that legislation. We cannot end today's meeting without taking a moment to thank the many residents who advocated for the trust by going to Albany and rallying here in New York City. To put it simply, we would not be sitting here today if standing up for the trust, if it weren't for the support and advocacy of our residents. I would also like to thank the governor and the mayor for their continuing support, as well as Assemblymember Steve Simberwitz and State Senator Julia Salazar, who sponsored the trust legislation. I also want to acknowledge the incredible board member presence here today. First and foremost, I want to acknowledge the resident leaders on the board, Karen Blondell and Barbara McFadden, who have effectively and tirelessly advocated for NYCHA residents for years. Ms. Blondell, Ms. McFadden, the experience and knowledge that you bring to this board is invaluable, and I'm so very grateful to have you both as colleagues on this board. I also want to extend an enormous thank you to our other board members and the tremendous experience and public dedication that each brings. Thank you to Baba Hum, Deputy Mayor Torres Springer, Georgiana Akoriji, and Pamela Campbell. I'm looking forward to all of us working together in the coming months and years with NYCHA residents to deliver on the promise of the trust. As we begin our work, we have focused today on the foundational governing documents of this new entity. After today's meeting, we will then turn to appointing a president of the trust who will oversee the day-to-day operations and management of the trust and its staff. And in the months ahead, we will work with the president to finalize and adopt key operational policies, which will allow the president and their staff to deliver the improvements residents deserve. This board will provide oversight of and a vision for the trust. We will ensure that NYCHA residents who vote to join the trust receive quality and timely renovations. We will address resident concerns as they are raised. We will ensure transparency and accountability, and we will identify solutions to the long-standing issues NYCHA residents and developments have faced. It is imperative that we get this right. NYCHA residents deserve this. So I think we could not ask for a better, more capable group of thoughtful individuals than those sitting up here with me today. I am so looking forward to working together on this board. And with that, I would love to ask if any of the other board members would like to give any remarks. We can start at the end to the extent that people have comments.
Thank you, Chair, for allowing me to give some comments. I'm delighted to be a part of this board and to be working alongside you all and the residents of public housing on this great innovative tool and this opportunity that the Public Housing Preservation Trust allows for, to be able to leverage this unique public financing ability to effectuate repairs and to move NYCHA towards a path of stability and quality housing for its tenants is important to me personally, and I look forward to working with you to make it happen.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam Chair. I just want to echo what's been expressed. Number one is extraordinary gratitude. As I look down this table, each person, each trustee is an extraordinary leader, not a coincidence. It's an all-woman board at the moment, and so there's much promise and power at this table. The second thing that I wanted to mention is this day has happened because of years of advocacy, and so huge gratitude to residents of NYCHA, tenant leaders, in particular Ms. McFadden and Ms. Blondell, for all of the leadership and partnership over the years. And the last thing that I want to say is today is a historic moment. It is the culmination of many years of advocacy, but it's also the start. It's the start of really advancing and making good on promises that I know will have a transformational impact. And I'm excited to be on this board, and I know I can speak on behalf of Mayor Eric Adams that we are extraordinarily excited and humbled to be able to do everything that is necessary to not just center residents, but to ensure that the progress made with NYCHA is one that moves with velocity, moves with speed, and moves with a lot of care. Thank you.
Thank you.
So thank you so much. This is a moment of fruition for me. It's been many years that I've been discussing the Preservation Trust with residents and with myself, involved with making sure that the residents' voices are heard. I'm on this board to continue to elevate the voices of the residents, and to make sure that they understand the built environment and the challenges that are faced by the trust. And thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Barbara McFadden. I am the resident leader at Sheepshead Bay Nostrand Housing, and I'm the first vice chair for the CTOP board. I am very thrilled to be part of this trust board. We work very hard, day in, day out, going to Albany, organizing to help get this bill passed, and I was definitely active, so I could definitely speak about it. Also, I'm glad that our residents will have the equal opportunity to have the option to vote for the trust because NYCHA has a lot of capital repairs need to be done. I'm always been the type of person, like, don't bring me the bad news. How can I work with NYCHA and other entities to bring a resolution, how to better NYCHA? I live in NYCHA. NYCHA is awesome. I mean, I live in Sheepshead Bay Nostrand, my light and gas included. I couldn't do that in a home. But that's neither yay or nay. I'm happy to be part of this board. I look forward to working with NYCHA, and I'm definitely an advocate for the trust. I support the trust. I'm an advocate for the trust, and I'm about the trust. Everyone have a wonderful, blessed day.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, all. My name is Georgiana Koroji. I'm the Vice President for Financial Planning Analysis. It's a privilege to be here and to also get to where we are now with the trust. And NYCHA is doing a great job, and we just want to thank everyone on this board and also the residents and the NYCHA staff that made it possible. I mean, kudos to you guys. It wasn't easy, but we need to congratulate you guys. As we're congratulating the leaders on this board, we also have to congratulate the people that made it possible. Yes. Thank you, and I know that NYCHA will do a great thing for the trust, and it's all about our residents, and it will be done. Thank you.
Thank you. And Ms. Campbell, I didn't know if you wanted to provide any comments.
Yes, I do. Good afternoon, all. I am very pleased and honored to be on this board. I am a product of NYCHA. I lived in NYCHA once. I worked for NYCHA my whole career, and I have seen great things, and then I've seen things that didn't go so well. So I'm looking forward to working with this board to bringing NYCHA back up to speed to where we should be. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for your comments. I move that the inaugural meeting of the Board of Trustees of the New York City Housing Preservation Trust be adjourned.
Is there a second?
I second it.
Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Are there any noes or abstentions? None being heard, the motion is passed. The meeting is adjourned at 12:23 p.m. The live stream can stop. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, everyone.